course you're gonna leave as soon as you came across who I am not. This party sucks, I'm out of luck, and no one seems to get me here. They talk about some all the stuff that I don't even wanna hear. The crazy part is that I didn't feel this way before I got here. I wanna be somebody, hanging with somebody, Can I be somebody, dancing with somebody? I wanna be somebody, Goodbye. The truth is I didn't even find your company that good. My lessons learned. Maybe I don't have to be around these people anymore. This party sucks, I'm out of luck. I don't know why I'm being here. They talk about some silly stuff. They even don't know if it's real. The crazy part is that I didn't feel this way before I got here. I wanna be somebody, hanging with somebody, Can I be somebody, dancing with somebody? I wanna be somebody, Maybe
Should I be selling right now?
I gotta get a bigger place.
What's my house worth? What do you think? What's my house really worth?
Do we need to renovate?
How do I buy a house?
What if I don't have time to see it in person?
What is going on with this housing market?
Don't worry. I can take the guesswork out of it.
So I can totally relate to that.
So can I.
When we
The
were
shower head
living-
deal?
When we were, oh no, I was thinking the crowd. When we were living in our 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom with all 5 of us.
Yeah, it's
And,
crazy.
We were when we were bumping into each other. We were like, yeah, we know it's time to.
I know, exactly. Well, welcome. It's Robert and Maria McCarter with Maryland Homes team of RE/MAX Components. This is Let's Talk Real Estate Live. We have a jam-packed show tonight. We have so much content we want to get through. We're so happy that you're hanging out with us this evening. And we have John Kohler in the house. John is the chef and owner of Pairings Bistro right here in Bel Air.
Oh, I know.
I'm so excited to have him on
week.
board. Exactly. I can have him every week too.
No,
exactly.
I'm there every week.
Oh, you're there
I
every
don't
week.
tell
I'm just
you
saying I
these
can have him on
things.
every week because I want to just talk about
I don't
that
have
menu.
to tell you everything.
I want to talk about
do.
the menu. I want to talk about all kinds of fun stuff that's going on a daily basis with them. But again, this is an awesome show. Thank you for hanging out with us. And we're going to talk more just as soon as we get back. I'm pulling your string. All right, welcome back. And again, you're tuning in to Let's Talk Real Estate live program. It's a live Q&A program, by the way. So if you have any questions or just give us a thumbs up, please go ahead and use that chat function below and type your questions in, and we will throw them up on the show. And we're just excited that you are coming on board with us. Also, if you'd like to follow us, you could do so on our social media. Follow us on Facebook. Go ahead and hit that like button. You can follow us on Instagram. LinkedIn as well. We're streaming live to LinkedIn, streaming live to YouTube right now. And believe it or not, we do have a TikTok account. And we have
We were doing a new one today, so stand by.
We've danced on there before, exactly. Yeah, and please visit our team merch account, mhtmerch.com. We have all kinds of great T-shirts and mugs and things like that. Any profits that are received from that account, by the way, we write checks to our local benefits. Local charities, and we're excited to be able to do that. And you're the one supporting that for us, and we really do appreciate everything you do with that. So anyway, how was your week?
It's been great so far. It's only hump day. It's only halfway through.
It's only halfway through. Exactly. Yeah. I got it's funny because I've been following a lot of the social media the last couple of days, and and yeah, I know. I sometimes you hate to do it, but you have to. It's one of those necessary evils sometimes. But there's a lot of activity going on in the marketplace right now. I don't know if you knew this, but the stats just came out today that the housing inventory is actually increased by 65%. From this January, from last January, but it's still 45% under pre-pandemic levels. So back in like 2017 through 2019 or so, it's still below that percentage. So I just wanted to share that with you. So the housing is starting to really, really pick up, and buyers out there, they're going crazy. There's a lot of frenzy going on. So
and we're right on top of it.
We're right on top of it, exactly.
So it is the month of February, which is Valentine's Day month. I think I'll just make it a month.
That's right.
Instead of just a day. What do you think of that?
Yeah, no, I think that's great.
I'm wearing your necklace you gave me how many years ago? My heart necklace. Do you
So
remember
that was back in Paris, back when we went to Paris several years ago. And it was a great time. We had a wonderful time there.
Well, it's more than several because the pandemic's been since, 2020?
That's right. Exactly.
So it's probably, I think it's at least 5.
Yep.
I think it was 2018.
That's right. Yeah,
It's
2018.
my job to remember all the dates.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I promised a couple of weeks now just to share a stat with you. And it came to us from someone that says, look, I'm selling my home soon. How much can I expect to give the buyers to help them with closing costs? And I thought that was a great, we're talking to Vern about listing his house in Joppa. And you know something, you're right. I had to compile some stats to give him that information. And it's good for buyers and good for sellers as well. So I just wanted to share this with you. If we were able to compile this, you're not going to hear it anywhere. You're not going to read it anywhere. But within the last 60 days, there's been 438 closings in Harford County. 438 closings. 161 of those closings offered a seller concession to the buyers. Seller concession meaning what? You explain, Ram.
Oh, wow. I was going to ask you.
Well, it's monies.
No, I will.
Exactly.
I will.
Go ahead.
Seller concession is when the seller decides to give money to the buyer, and it could be a couple different reasons. The buyer could ask for some seller help toward their closing costs.
That's correct.
That's part of the contract, or during or after a home inspection, the buyer may submit a list of things they would like to have repaired. Like sometime, we haven't seen those in years, but they're back. So, and then if the seller decides they don't want to fix all those things,
they give money in lieu.
They can give money in lieu of
in lieu
them.
of the repairs.
Or they could fix 2 things and still give money in lieu.
That's
of
correct.
Them. But anyway, it's all about negotiating.
So what was the total amount of the concessions? That was the one question. And what's the highest amount that someone has given over the last 60 days, by the way? And what's the lowest amount? And I wanted to share that with you. I don't have a drum roll, but if I did, here we go. So total seller concessions. Listen, folks, just in Harford County, $1,274,775. The highest concession that a seller has given to a buyer in order for them to close on their property has been $21,000, and the lowest, believe it or not, $3. Now I'm thinking that the $3 probably came up with like a cup of coffee, like that the buyer demanded that you pay for my cup of coffee when I go to the closing or something. Something crazy happened there.
That's a
but there was $3 there.
A little bit of money for a lot of
That's right.
A lot of paperwork.
So on average, right now, it's $7,900 is what sellers are giving to close on their property.
Which
So I just thought that was interesting
awesome
stats.
for our buyers.
That's right. Yeah.
And the sellers are still getting strong numbers. So it's okay to negotiate and work well to get to the great ending point.
That's right.
So,
Yep.
honey, you are like doing your auctioneer, Speedy Gonzalez.
I won't.
And I think I've said way too many times tonight. But anyway, if you could just slow it
I will
down
slow it
a
down.
few miles.
Exactly.
Um,
But so I wanted to share with you also.
Wait, I didn't get to finish. You're just
Look,
like not even
I'm just so
communicating.
excited. I wanted to get to this photograph
Okay,
here.
how do we stay married this long? But
Exactly,
anyway,
right?
um, so there's my Friday 15th. I probably should like someone charge me for them. So 20,000, you said, or 21,000 was the highest
21,000 was the
concession.
highest. Yes.
So in my career lifetime, my highest was 18,500
Wow.
to someone we adore, and they beat me. So that 21,000, my top number's been beat. I've been knocked out of my place. So
That's right. Exactly.
I
So
have to.
wanted to share with you this photograph. You're probably looking at the screen right now saying like, what the heck is this beautiful home here?
What the
Well,
heck? We're like,
well,
yay! Look at
let me just share
this.
with you, just came on the market, by the way, 30,000 square feet home right here in Maryland, in Potomac. Dan
course.
Snyder. Does anyone know who Dan Snyder is? Anyone at
Baseball
all?
player.
No, Dan Snyder. So he
Singer.
owns the Washington Commanders. The Washington Commanders. He just now put his house, literally, I think yesterday or so, he just put his house up on the market, $49 million.
Do we have more pictures than this?
So $49 million.
I would love to see
I'm
them.
nowhere in the running for that, just to let you know. Our
Yes.
guest may be that's coming on that we're going to be interviewing, John. John might very well be on tap
A
for this one.
contender here for.
We
Okay, how many car garage is that? How many cars do you
So
see?
I don't have all the particular information on them, but on the property, but I can certainly get it to you. Listen, if you are interested in taking a look at this property, Carlos said never heard of them, so that's fine.
They changed their name. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's
Team
right.
Did, so
Exactly. Carl also piped in. He said, there's a lot of opportunities out there for sellers and
Absolutely.
buyers, so that's great. Yeah, and again, if you want to comment during the show, please feel free to do so. We'd love to be able to put your comments on the screen and go along with the show. But
Now,
anyway,
I would
that's Dan
assume
Snyder.
This is the back of the house.
I don't know.
correct?
I would say so. Yes, that's the back. Can you imagine what the
I don't
front looks
know.
like? Yeah, my goodness. So I just wanted to share that with you. But so we had a text come in some time ago from Michael and Sharon in Bel Air. I loved Harford County's Restaurant Week and would enjoy watching an interview with Pairings Bistro. They had a wonderful menu. They texted this to me. So obviously these are folks that follow our program. They know that we interview a lot of different businesses throughout Harford County, a lot of charitable organizations and things like that. So, as soon as I saw this, I said, oh my gosh, I would just love to be able to get them on board with us and see what we can do. So without further ado, I wanted to share with everybody John Kohler with Pairings Bistro. Let's welcome John to the house.
Hey, everybody.
John, how are you doing, sir? Chef John?
Good. How are you
Nice.
guys doing?
Doing very well. Doing
We
very
are
well.
Now,
great.
now, how long have you guys been married for?
A long time.
Since October 16th of 1993.
All right,
So, how
longer
many
than
years?
me then.
How many years? Well, don't make me calculate. I'm just saying 93. So it's going to be
Honey,
what?
it's going to be 30 years.
30 years. That's right. I just
30
threw the number in my
years.
head there. 30 years. Yeah.
4
Well, what's
children and
what's
5
your
grandchildren.
key to success? Yeah, obviously, there's got to be something there.
Key to success for me personally is
Oh, I'm excited to hear this.
yeah, the key to success is to always admit when I'm wrong and ask for forgiveness and learn to receive forgiveness from my wife, because I made a lot of mistakes, believe me, through our marriage, but you got to stay humble. You got to be able to receive, be able to ask for forgiveness, for things that you've done. The communication is certainly key. And we have 4 wonderful kids, 5 grandchildren. Our 5th one was just born last week.
Shepherd Jordan.
Shepherd Jordan, yep.
Yeah.
And so we're really excited. I know I look too young to be a grandfather.
For
I get it.
real, both of
Trust me,
us.
I understand that. Yep, exactly. I understand.
And
So-
I think my take on that would be willing to change,
Yeah.
and you're not always right, and don't yell as much.
Wait a minute, you're not always right.
I'm coming from an Italian family, so I'm learning not to yell,
What the
which
heck,
is
you're
my
not
normal tone of voice. So I'm learning what
Exactly.
that looks like.
So, John, welcome to our program. I'm so excited that you're on board with us, and you've accepted the invitation. And we're so stoked about learning more about you personally, number one, and number two, about your heart and passion of Pairings Bistro. And just give us a little introduction to yourself.
Well, yeah, my name's John Kohler. I'm the owner, proprietor, chef of Pairings Bistro. I opened the restaurant back in 2009, March of 2009. And it was 25 seats when we opened. And, I like to take small chunks at a time. So over the last 14 years, we've grown and we've added on. It's really just about listening to our guests and our patrons. And so it's what's been really cool is our guests and patrons have grown with us, through this journey. So it's kind of cool to see, them come in to the restaurant after our newly renovation and expansion and go, man, this is so cool. I remember when it was just the little 25 seat spot. So it's just been fun, and we're just looking for some cool things and what's next to come. So
That's great.
So if
yeah,
I can share, we would race to the farmer's market to catch your bistro. So we're not going.
before it closes at 11.
Yes, yes. And then one time, and my son, like, we love your burrito and that whatever. I don't know what is in that salsa, but I probably need to know. You
I'm
can
gonna
tell me.
tell you.
You are.
Oh
Go
my
ahead.
goodness.
Yeah, keep going.
I'm
But
leaning in.
anyway, so my son, who's 16, 6'3", and I don't know how much he weighs, but anyway, he would say, "Mom, hurry, we're gonna miss it. Let's go." Because it became a tradition. We started doing that, and then I was like, "Oh my goodness, fall's coming. We're gonna lose it." So one day I called, and Karen, who I have to applaud, is an awesome manager over there at your village market. She said, "Well, we carry these things daily." I said, "Stop. How did I not know this?"
Mhm.
So I think your village market is the best kept secret. And that's when
It really is.
I said to Rob, besides people asking us to have you on, I said, okay, we got to help them because we've got to let people know how wonderful it is. It's open all day long. And all the comments when I've been sharing with friends and family, you know what they're saying? Where is it? I'm like, it's literally right next door to it, and it's just crazy. Like, I'm like, you guys have got to try this burrito. And of course, I've had lunch there. We've taken a couple clients there. And Lee is your, I guess, bistro. Is that what they
She's our
call it?
barista
Barista.
Barista.
Okay, I'm getting
extraordinaire.
this all mixed
Yeah.
up.
She's a burrito.
She
What?
is amazing. Like, I go there, my son and I, it's like our date, mother and son, while Rob's still working. And we go have one of her Mondays is her new latte day or her new fancy drink. So we're so excited to try it,
Nice.
and it's just great. I mean, if you haven't been to the Village Market right next door, you've got to go. And they have such a selection of every goodie you can think of. And we are hooked on the Broom's Bloom milk. If you've never drank it before, you have to go and take a sip. You'll never drink any other milk ever again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
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 So sorry,
Yeah.
that was my
So,
commercial for
well,
you.
no, and I appreciate you saying that, and thank you. And then first of all, as of last year, the farmers market ends at noon. So they listened to you and they said, you know what, we're going to stay up until noon. So it's eight to noon. That farmers market does start the second Saturday of April.
Okay, write this
And
down.
we're actually there all the way through till the Saturday before Thanksgiving. So, and people don't realize that it's open well into November there. So,
Right? We
but you
didn't know
can
that.
get that burrito at the restaurant, and I think people are starting to figure this out for sure. So it's been nice. The market is incredible. I really took the farmers market and I lifted it up and I gently caressed it and placed it into
You
that
did.
market and cafe. Broom's Bloom is in there. Kate's Ice Cream, Milk, Keys Creamery Ice Cream. We're batching ice cream with Keys Creamery and with Broom's Bloom. We've got chicken, local chicken. We've got pork from Crooked Creek. We have whole steers that we're buying from Brad's farm. So you can buy beef there. There's coffee. There's wine, of course, which everybody loves. So it's really been a nice addition. And what's nice about it, everything in that market is our products coming from Harford County farms, and maybe dipping down a little bit into Baltimore County now, but it's predominantly Harford County farms. So
Sure, sure.
we love that part. You can go to the grocery store and get anything, the same things, but if you really want to get something grown in this county, the village market and cafe is a great place to stop by. So
Yeah,
Yes. And
that's
you have
great.
good hours too. I kept thinking it would be closing at 3 or something like that. And they're like, no, Maria, we have great hours. So that's awesome.
yeah, well, breakfast starts at 8, ends at 11. Lunch is from 11 to 3. It's what's nice about it is, we're kind of slow in the restaurant. Like when you come in, when I say slow, like you want to come in and you want to relax and enjoy yourself. Have a nice relaxing dinner. But the market is about fast. So if you want to come in, we actually have some grab and go items, salads and wraps and things like that. But if you want something quick, that's the place to go. So and it's nice because we've never really had that before.
Yes. And it's probably why I like it so much
Mm-hmm.
because we're always on the go. And
Yeah.
of course, we were trying to get there the other night for dinner, and then life happened because we'd want to come and when we have dinner, take our time and enjoy everything, not have to
Yeah.
zoom out in 45 minutes to an hour. So yes, and I think that's great for people who run busy lives.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So I had a chance, John, to really go through, obviously your website, which is absolutely wonderful. It's on the screen there for everyone to take a look at, but I kind of wanted to showcase a couple of things, and I'll certainly go anywhere on the website that you want me to, but I was really taken back by, number one, you have a great menu. So when we go to the cafe menu, I just encourage everyone, if you visit pairingsbistro.com, take a look at the menu, and it just everything is just wonderfully paired together. Obviously, you have a fantastic wine list, and I think that's really wonderful. And also, you have a great events page as well. I think the best way to follow your events, what I found is if you go to your Instagram account, you have a great Instagram account where you can find out, the live music schedule, and there's a Valentine's Day Pairings Bistro event that's going on. I'm not sure if you already sold out for that or not.
Yeah, well, if you want to eat at 4 o'clock or at 9 o'clock,
There you go, right?
That's
we
normally
might
what
be able
happens
to
to
slide
us.
you in.
Well, it is very much of an intimate atmosphere, which I really like a lot, But if you're looking for things to do during the week, I was really taken back. I mean, you've really strategically have put together a great program for people. Like if they have nothing to do on a Monday night and they have a little bit of a good voice, go out on hot mic night on Mondays. And how about jazz Wednesdays? I mean, that's wonderful. I absolutely love jazz. And then, of course, you have some late night events. You have happy hour bar menu and things like
Yep.
that. So I just wanted to encourage people to visit your website because you have a really nice calendar of events of things that are coming up with live music and things like that. So
You know, I guess for me, music, food, wine, beer, it all kind of goes together. So I would say 3 or 4 times a week there's live music in there, and that's important to me. It's important to our guests. Live music is really an incredible thing for people to enjoy, and it's not too loud. So you don't have to worry about going to the bar area and getting blown out. The jazz is really it's actually amazing musicians. Lots of things going on. So I think as we're coming out of the last couple of years, which have been difficult for a lot of businesses, difficult for restaurants. This was probably the first year that we, kind of took those training wheels off a little bit and said, hey, we're gonna push this thing forward with the expanded bar area, with the cafe, and we're going to do just a bunch of different events and really drive home, that part. So just encourage you to visit the website and look at our activities, and if there's something you're interested, we'd love to have you join us.
So, John, tell us a little bit about, your biggest influence and where did you grow up and where did you go to college or culinary
So
school? That's
I
correct.
grew up in Maryland. I'm a Maryland boy for sure. A lot of the influence in the restaurant. You can see that in the menu. I grew up in a little town south of Annapolis called Lothian, kind of southern end of Arundel County. And I grew up on a 72-acre tobacco farm. Of course, not a tobacco farm anymore, but back then when I grew up, everybody grew tobacco down in southern Maryland.
That's right.
Yes, you're
That
right.
upper Marlboro. That's how they get their name,
Upper
right?
Marlboro.
That's right.
Yeah. In fact, actually, Upper Marlboro was actually where I was born
Oh
in Upper
wow.
grew up on a farm, which was, looking back, just a great way to grow up, on some space and around really good people. And you really learn, hard work from an early age. You really learn what hard work is. I think my first job was working for a local tobacco farmer. 50 cents an hour, I think maybe I made. And we're cutting tobacco, we're staking tobacco, we're hanging it in the barns. Really hard work. So I guess, I've always taken that experience and have carried it through to today. And maybe that's why, I love to support the local farms and the local farmers wherever I can, because, they're really super important to community and what we do. They drive,
Absolutely.
they drive, this economy.
That's
They
right.
Uh,
do. And they're
you know,
such
it's,
hard workers.
it's such hard workers, and there's actually, owning the restaurant now, I really do see a correlation between, owning a restaurant and being a farmer. There's a lot of similarities. I get up early and I'm just doing stuff all day. You're just working, you're grinding, you're working on projects, you're trying to sell a commodity, essentially. So, a lot of similarities there. But as far as going to, figuring out what I wanted to do, the one thing I did know was at an early age, I really enjoyed cooking. It was that creative, artistic side that I didn't really know, was there, and it was really my grandmother and my mom that, encouraged me to do it.
Oh wow.
Uh, and I think my mom encouraged me more because if I was cooking, I mean, she didn't have to do it. And sorry, mom, not the best cook in the world. So if I wanted something good to eat, I had to go make it myself. Now, with that being said, my mom was a businesswoman and she was always grinding too. And I think, my mom was and still is my biggest inspiration. And I really, really looked to her for to really help me, with business just in general. I've always consulted with her, and she always has just a really great gut and an instinct for the next move and what to do. Um, and for the most part, I kind of let my guests dictate the next direction that I'm going to go in. I
Exactly.
see what they're asking for, what their need is, and then I try to create it. But after three real expansions here, I think this might be the last expansion on the plate. If anybody asks me where the next restaurant is going to go, if I'm going to go to the beach, or if I'm going to go down to Florida, I look at them and I say, well, I can start up another restaurant, but you're going to have to help me find a new wife because mine's going to be long gone. She's out.
As
So,
business owners, I completely understand where you're coming
Oh
from.
my
oh yeah,
goodness.
Completely.
Yeah. We don't ever
um,
clock out, I feel like
yeah,
sometimes.
Yeah, you live, eat, and breathe the business, and
yeah, you
we
really do.
certainly, obviously, we understand that concept, that
Yeah,
mindset, that drive that you have. It's a passion, and
yeah,
it definitely reflects on the type of restaurant that you have. on everything that you've been able to do, not just the restaurant, but all the little branches that
Yeah,
we see that have come off of the restaurant, and you're serving a community. Harford County is, listen, as well as I do, is full of foodies.
yeah,
I mean, everyone has particular tastes, and they love to spread the word. When there's a good menu and something good, and a good restaurant, especially something that's locally owned, they are on top of it 100%, and they just love to share great restaurants. And of course, you're one of the greats, and
absolutely.
we really appreciate that. So,
Well, and and with that being said, you're really right, and where we saw it, where I saw it, I experienced that love, and I experienced that love, starting in March of 2020, when we were closed and all the restaurants were closed. Those guests were out there doing carry out. They were visiting the food truck that was, cranked up in the parking lot doing tacos. We felt that love. Every employee in that place felt our guests wanting to support us. And so, out of all the negatives of COVID and all, everything that's just happened, there's been a lot of really positives that have come out of it too. And I think, seeing, you really get to see what people are made of when times are tough. And what we saw our guests being very loyal and sticking with us through it and wanting to make sure that we did make it through. So,
Right.
we
So
we
true.
we appreciate them very much.
yeah.
That's awesome. And I love that. That's really great. So, John, when did the market and the cafe open? How long has it been there? I feel like how long have I missed it?
Well, so the restaurant, I opened up the restaurant in 2009, March of 2009. We expanded into the space next door with all of our, the new dining room and the wine shop. That was in December of 2012. And then, the cafe opened November of 2021. And now the bar side, the expanded bar side, opened November of last year. So
Wow.
the bar was really, that's the old bar right there, which I kind of miss. But the new bar is good too. But yeah, the November of 2022, we opened our new bar area, which is has plenty of seating now. We have plenty of casual seating for those people that just want to come in and have a glass of wine or a beer and just be casual. And that was really important for me to be able to offer that because our bar was small. People love casual. They love the casual,
They do.
spontaneous act of coming in and just having an appetizer and a drink, not making a reservation. And so it was really nice for us to be able to offer that now.
Yes. Well, that's a lot of expansion in a little bit of time. Those are huge expansions, which we all do appreciate. So, in the midst of all those great things, what are you most proud of?
Well, I would tell you, I just mentioned one of them, and that was our guests. Really proud of them. But you know, when any successful business owner, will all tell you this. They'll all tell you the same thing. What really makes a business successful? What am I really super proud of? And that's our staff and our employees.
Sure.
They make the business. They're the ones that are there, making it happen. And our staff is, I mean, they're really incredible. They're incredible people. I love every single one of them as a family member. We always joke like, we are a big family, a dysfunctional family sometimes, but you
That's
know,
family, though.
we're,
That we understand.
we like it that we like being a little dysfunctional. So,
Sure.
but they are really the heart and soul of the business. Great employees. Our main chef has been there for 11 years. I have people up and down, employees that have been there almost from the beginning. People just stay, and I think that sinks in with me. I appreciate that.
Yes.
So hopefully we've created, an atmosphere where we want to be there, that want to work there, and would don't really want to work anywhere else because they're happy with who we are and what we are. So the staff is really proud of them for sure, especially coming through the last couple of years.
Yes.
We had there we in March of 2020 we were a staff of 36, and when the shutdown happened, we were a staff of 6. We went from 36 to 6, and through those first few months, as we were doing business, as things were coming back, and those employees were like out, they were coming back and they were coming back, and when they allowed outside dining and even restricted inside dining, we had every single one of those employees came back with the exception of a couple. Every single one of them came back.
Wow.
Again, like that's like almost unheard of in the restaurant business.
Yeah, that's what it's
Yes.
obviously a reflection of the type of business that you're running. And something what I love about employees is that I don't like to just call them employees, but just regular
Right.
folks. We all want to be a part of something that is great, something that is
Right.
bigger than ourselves, right? So
Yep.
when I leave my home, if I'm leaving my home at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, grab a cup of coffee, and I know I'm entering into my office or my restaurant that I work at, it's something that is greater than me and
Yep.
something that I want to be able to pour myself into, my
Yep.
vision into, my skills that I've been hired for,
Yep.
and it just makes for a great business. And you have that model, and I think that a lot of other business owners can really appreciate that.
Well, and I think what we do is we give them some space too. We allow them the freedom to, we empower them to be able to make decisions, and decisions that are best for our guest. And I think it's a great model to work from. And we also, we're not a top down organization. It's not me just up there going, all right, this is what we're going to do. This is the menu I want to run. You guys are going to do it this way. Like it flows from bottom to the top and top to the bottom. I look for their input on everything that we do. And I think what ends up becoming the focus is, how can we be better? How can we take something that's great and make it just a little bit better every time? We all make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. We've had, food issues or service issues. I mean, everybody has it, but I think what we really try to do is we really try to dial into what those issues are and come up with solutions. We're not afraid to fail. We're also really not afraid to make a change. We're not afraid to do it if it means that we're just a little bit better. So I think the staff is really focused on always trying to be better, always trying to think of something that we can do a little bit better, with the ultimate result is that our guests have a better experience, for whatever that experience is. And I think we've tried to create numerous different kinds of experiences for what our guest is looking for. So
That's great. Yeah, that's
Right.
yeah. You've created an atmosphere, obviously, at your restaurant, for people to be able to grow in, and you obviously are a great example of what a true leader is, a true chef, a true owner of a restaurant is. Someone who wants to surround themselves by great people that they've hired, on board. And we do the same thing.
yeah,
With Maria and I,
absolutely.
we're not the brainchilds of our business. We look to hire those around in our team that are many times smarter than us in different
Absolutely.
aspects. And I want to lean on that. I want to pull that that information from them to be able to grow our team to be one of the best around.
And
So
you
trust me, I
you
believe
can't
that.
you can't be afraid. You can't be afraid to surround people that have, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think I surround myself with people that honestly do a better job than I do, you know, and I think that's, it's a key. It's really a key. They, I mean, you ask me how to mix up some of these drinks that they do, forget about it.
That's right.
Forget about it. Now wine, I'll talk to you about wine all day long. I mean, I'm the guru with the wine in the place, but
You have a great
but
menu. Yeah.
they're experts, and I lean on them, for a lot of things, because to be honest with you, I do look to have people that I'm surrounded with that that really do something great.
Yeah.
Right.
You do need to learn what you're, as a business owner, you do learn, probably most importantly, what your weaknesses are,
Right.
and
Right.
not be afraid, hey, these are my weaknesses. I have so many different weaknesses. So you've got to surround yourself with people that
Yeah.
can, take care of those things.
John, I
So
want to shift
Correct.
gears just for a moment, and I
sure.
know you have a great heart for the community, for farmers, and things of that nature. Why are you so passionate about working with the local farmers and gathering those necessary things from them for the ingredients of your meals?
I guess my answer to that is, why not? Why wouldn't I? I mean, you
I
have you
agree.
have
I
great
agree.
resources directly around you, people that you can impact directly around you. Why wouldn't I want to start with those people that I'm surrounded with? Of course,
Right.
growing up on a farm. Now, we weren't farmers. Both my parents worked for the government. So we lived on this farm, and farmers essentially leased almost all of our land for that. But I guess for me, like, why would I want to buy something from somewhere else when I can buy it from somebody, right here in this county? Now, the other interesting thing that COVID has done is, there was a fairly large gap between, commercial, commercial food, industry food, and your local farmer. You go to the farmer's market, you're going to pay more at the farmer's market than you are at the grocery store.
Right.
Well, with supply and demand, and what everybody's seeing is, you're seeing all these prices, go up. Food prices are certainly going up, but you know the farmers' prices haven't gone up at the same rate. So that gap between what a farm is charging and what you can get at the grocery store is narrowing, and in fact, at this point, there's almost no price fluctuation between the two. Like, I
Yes.
mean, we're selling local eggs in the market for $5.
I know. I
You
saw
know,
that.
I
And
mean, I don't think you can get eggs in the grocery store for $5.
not
And
when
these
you
are
want to
these
eat.
are these are eggs from, from this county, and they're so much better.
Yes.
Hmm.
So for me, I look at it, yeah, it's nice, let's support the people around us, but at this point, you know, pricing wise, that gap is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So
a win-win for
it's a
sure.
really great time to buy local. Really,
Yes.
really great time to buy local. So,
Absolutely.
That's
Well,
really
one
good.
last question before we go to announce our winner of our Valentine's
You caught
giveaway.
us on the night, by the way, of our
Yes, big
all
Valentine's
right.
night.
giveaway, John. I'm not sure if you are aware,
Yeah.
but we were running a contest basically. It's our Valentine's giveaway getaway, and it's a 3-day, 2-night stay at a beach house in Bethany. And so
Nice.
tonight we are actually giving that away. And you had to basically nominate someone, a well-deserved individual, couple, or family,
Any
that
person.
any person at all that you would love to be able to just gift them something like that. So in this tough time, but we wanted to be able to share that as well. And I didn't want to take your time to do that. But those that are watching right now, yes, we are going to get to that in a few moments.
Yes,
So
we
just wanted to
are.
make sure you're aware of that.
Cool.
So
We
yeah,
are, and we would like to purchase a gift card from you as well, because we want to do a couple more giveaways this month. So we'll be into the store,
absolutely.
into the
Yes.
restaurant
Thank
to
you.
pick that up
Yep, absolutely.
and give
Yeah.
away.
So John, just please take as much time as you need. But what kind of activities do you have upcoming? By the way, I want to let everyone know who's watching right now. Please follow their Instagram account, follow their Facebook. They do a wonderful job. Pairings does a wonderful job posting their upcoming activities and things like that. So I encourage everyone to follow them on Instagram, on Facebook. But is there anything that sticks out in your mind that you would like to share, obviously, with us?
So actually, I'm going to the website right now because I'm just going to look at the website and
Yeah.
tell you what's going on.
No,
Um,
it makes sense, to do.
that's where I go now, and people ask me, I go, all right, well, let me go to the website. So generally, right now there's a lot. Valentine's Day is right around the corner, and what's nice about Valentine's Day on a Tuesday is you can kind of spread it out a little bit. So all this weekend, people are coming in Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, of course. So
Right.
there's a lot of different options for people to come in and celebrate. Our bar area is open. We obviously don't take reservations for that, so we anticipate the bar area being pretty busy. Music's going on all the time. We do hot mic on the first Mondays. Jazz is first and third Wednesdays of the month. The jazz. These are some
Yes.
amazing musicians. If you like jazz, or even if you just like instrumental music, we've got some guys and girls that are really, I mean, just phenomenal musicians. Friday and Saturday we always have music too. Now we do have a bourbon dinner coming up, actually on March the 30th, and it's actually going to be what's called a whiskey brawl. So we're doing two, like it's a bourbon and a rye next to each other with a food option. In fact, I'm pulling it up right now. March 30th is the bourbon dinner, but it's actually a brawl. So each course you get two different bourbons to try. Like I said,
Wow.
the farmers market starts on April the 8th. We have been to the Bel Air Farmers Market since the year we've opened. We have been at that farmers market, and I'm really excited when it starts back up. We do a lot of different wine dinners. So we've got a Spanish wine dinner on April the
Sangria.
27th. Now we are closed on Sundays, but we do a brunch, and we do a brunch on Easter, Mother's Day, and Father's Day. So that's something to look forward to. And the brunch is really a nice event. We enjoy doing them, but typically we do like to have the staff does like to have their Sundays off.
I
So
know, and I
I
don't blame
understand
them,
that.
and we respect
do.
that very much.
Yeah.
We
Absolutely.
respect that and understand that. Even though we've driven up some days and places have been closed because we
Yeah.
forget.
Yeah.
But one last question, like I
Sure.
said before,
Like you said before.
Mr. McCarter here. So how did you come up with the name Pairings?
So the name Pairings really came up. It was back in 2002. My wife Sandy and I were this was before I opened up the restaurant. I was a sales manager for a wine distributor, and what was nice about that job was we got to travel quite a bit, see all these different regions, all the different wine regions of the world, different vineyards. Again, these are farmers growing grapes, so I had a real interesting connection with just wine in general because of that. But it was, my wife and I were visiting her family in Brussels, Belgium, and we took a trip through France. We visited Champagne, Burgundy, a couple different regions, wine regions, and we were in Burgundy. And if you've ever heard of Louis Jadot, Beaujolais Village, but Louis Jadot is a great Burgundy producer, and we were able to go down, taste a bunch of different great Burgundies, and then we had lunch there. And they were just great, really just a great place, and they did a food and wine pairing lunch for us. And we tried all these different Burgundies, reds and whites. We had different cheeses, and a lot of the food, rustic food, comfort food, beef bourguignon and just different types of things. And the gentleman that was hosting us really did an amazing job explaining the different wine and the different food pairings. And it was like a light bulb went off in my head. I'm trying all these wines, and the food and the wine really just became an additional ingredient of the food. It was like adding a spice to a dish. And the way that the wine mingled in with everything, like I was totally blown away. Like I had tried wine before and food before, but in that kind of atmosphere where you're matching everything up specifically, it was at that point I said, if I do ever open up a place one day, I'm going to call it Pairings. So it was because of that experience. That's where the name comes from.
Wow.
That's a great story.
That's a great story.
We love France.
Yeah.
We are fans.
Yeah, we're big fans.
Of course,
France,
Italy has lots of great wine too.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll be going there, and so it's my 25th anniversary this year, and so
happy anniversary.
so Sandy and I are going to be heading to Tuscany in the fall, and it's my first time in Italy.
You're gonna wanna go
Both
back.
times I was supposed to go with the distributorship. Both Italy trips, Sandy was pregnant at the time, so I never got to go to Italy. So we're really looking forward to it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I bet. You have to stop in Florence if you can.
Oh, we're flying into Florence and flying out of Florence. It's the whole
You will
trip
not
is
want to
centered
leave.
around
I
Florence.
mean, although
Yeah.
so much of it is so beautiful, but
Yeah.
Florence, without a doubt, is our favorite.
Yeah.
So we can't wait to go back, honestly.
Oh yeah.
We can't. But what a pleasure it was to meet you. We look forward to seeing you at the restaurant. And thank you again for joining us tonight.
It was my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
All right. And I think I lost my microphone, so I'm going to share your microphone a little bit. I
What?
don't know. I did.
You're
I
like
lost my mic,
crazy
but that's
about the
okay.
microphones.
But that's okay. So anyway, we're going to dive
But
right
I share
into
nicely.
yeah, we're going to dive right into our calendar of events. Thank you, John, so much for
Thank you.
for coming on tonight. We really appreciate it, and we're going to have links, by the way, after the show in our description for your website, for your social media. So if you want to get in contact with John or find out any more about pairingbistro.com. Pairingbistro.com. Thank you very much,
Yes.
John.
All right. Thank
And
you.
Right.
We're going to
Appreciate
dive
it.
right into our calendar of events. We'll be right back.
There's no need to complicate things. Let's stick to the basics. We both know what we want. Let's just keep it simple. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. We dance on the same wavelength. This feels like a new beginning. We both know what we want. Let's just keep it
without much further ado, we are going to announce who the winner is of our Valentine Day getaway. So, thank you for all the entries. We had so many. All the stories were just amazing. But the grand prize winner is Deb Lembeck and Heather Wink. She nominated Heather Wink. So congratulations, Deb Lembeck. And we were thinking two are always better than one, right? So we picked a second winner as well. And the second winner is going to be Megan Madigan, who nominated her parents, John and Debbie Madigan. And congratulations to both of you. So feel free to reach out to me, text me, email us. I don't know which way you want, honey.
Yeah,
and
reach out
then
as well.
we will give you all the details and then the calendar for your dates so that you could pick. So congratulations. Thank you, everyone. Please make sure you share the good news with everyone to let them know who the winners are. And we look forward to hearing from you soon. And congratulations. And thank you for taking the time to nominate so many wonderful, wonderful people.
Yes, it was some wonderful entries, and we really appreciate that. Also, for future prizes that we offer up, it's going to be at mhtprize.com. That's where you're going to go to gather more information about that. So we're really excited about it. But let's dive into the housing stats. We'll be right back.
Well, thank you for hanging in there with us tonight. We know we had so many good things to discuss, and we're so glad that you were here joining us. And remember, if you know anyone buying or selling or just have any real estate questions, we'd be more than glad to help them. And referring our name to your friends and family or even strangers who pass you at the grocery store, we are so grateful. So thank you for all the love, and happy Valentine's Day to you.
What's your story? What's your sign? It's like we're twin flames in a different life. Deep connection lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We live it like this could be a final day. We're dreamers. Don't care what the others say. We're doing this in our own way. We come alive in the nighttime. It's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. We come alive. We come alive. What's your weakness? What's your type? Somehow I want